How's it going, everyone? Today is cardio day. So my mom and I, we're doing the 12-3-30 challenge. I'll explain what that is in a bit, but first, a little bit of warm-up stretching to minimize the risk of injury. So this first warm-up stretch I'm gonna do is for the hips and back. Just gonna cross the leg over the other and do a gentle twist. Make sure to do the same thing on both sides. Don't mind the back breaking. Stretch out the legs. Do some hip stretching. And give your ankles a roll so they hurt less when you're doing any intensity of walking, jogging, running. Now, cardio is a great exercise in general if you're trying to lose or maintain weight. If you're trying to gain weight, it's better to minimize cardio that you do throughout the week. If you don't have a treadmill, that's totally fine. You can always go take a walk in the park, go on a hike, just walk around town. But the 12-3-30 challenge is just like this. On normal treadmills, you're going to have two columns, one for percentage incline and one for the speed. The 12 is referring to the percentage of incline. The 30 is the amount of time that you're going to be doing it. You do it for 30 minutes. And the 3 is for the minimum speed that you should be doing, 3 miles per hour the whole time. Now, I generally like to push myself, go above 3 the whole time, whether that's 4 or 3.5. And if I really want to push it, I do 5, which is more of a jog at that point. But the reason for the incline is that you're going to be burning more carbs when you do that. So today especially is a good day for a recovery that has lots of carbs in it. If you're on a keto diet, I guess that doesn't really apply to you. Now, before you get into any running or jogging or even walking, you need to make sure that you're having proper form when you're doing so. So, I'm just going to start by demonstrating the general motion you're going to want to do when doing any of those, whether it's walking, jogging, or running. I apologize for the treadmill squeaking noise, but you should be able to see the visual pretty well. It's going to be a rolling motion, nice and controlled. You're not going to want to lock your leg forward. You're not going to want to tiptoe. You're not going to want to slam your feet down. If you slam your feet down, you have a higher risk of injury for your knees. If you go on your toes, you can injure your calves and ankles. So it's nice to have a relaxed rolling motion. And it works for running as well. I'm going to pick up the pace to 7 miles an hour. And it may be hard to tell, but if you look at the swinging motion of my arms, you're not clenching your fists. It's just a nice, relaxed, open palm. Swinging back and forth helps with momentum, keeping your pace up. Bring your arms in, but don't tuck them in. Bring your arms up. Now,
There is probably one exception, I would say, to jogging the entire time, and that's if you need to take a drink of water. It can be dangerous, you can choke if you decide you're going to drink while running, but it is doable. Just be careful when you do so. And you know what? If you spill a little bit of it on you while you're running, that's fine. It'll cool down your chest. But if you spill something on your treadmill, it's important to stop the treadmill, stop what you're doing, clean it up. Otherwise, you could slip and injure yourself. So, nice rolling motion, heel to toe. You've heard it a dozen times, countless times even. And when you go, you want to take nice, long strides. But you want to keep a bend at your knee, because if you lock your leg at just the wrong position, wrong time, you could put a lot of strain on your knee and your joints. When you're doing a little jogging motion, you don't want to bounce too much. That also can put some strain on your hips, knees, and ankles. But you don't want to be crouching, that way you have no bouncing motion at all either. It's a nice balance in between. Form is incredibly important for cardio. If you do an exercise improperly, and this goes for any workout, you can injure yourself. And if you injure yourself, well, you're not going to be working out for a while. And then you risk muscle atrophy, which, is not worth trying to push yourself to the point of injury. Don't mistake me when I say pushing yourself. You do need to push yourself. But don't push yourself too far, where you know you're going to risk an injury. If you can feel some sort of sprain or strain coming on, lighten up. And then, when you're nice and relaxed, and you're back in the groove of it, start pushing again. After finishing a nice, intense cardio workout, the last thing you want to do is say, oh, thank goodness, it's over, and then just start sitting down, lying down on your back. That poses a greater risk for cardiac diseases. It's really bad for your heart. You always want to cool down, gradually go from that intense workout down to a steady heart rate. If you jump from a high heart rate to try and go to a low one as quickly as possible, you're at risk for heart attack, stroke, other cardiovascular diseases. So be careful when you're doing these workouts, but push yourself. Push yourself as far as you can go safely. That's going to do it for cardio day. We'll see you next month with our next round of exercises. I'm just going to go ahead and do the exercise, and I'll see you in a bit. I generally try to do a minute of cool down for every 10 minutes of high intensity cardio. Just about. So if you went for a mile run, let's just say, maybe your time was 8 minutes, 7 minutes, maybe even 12 if you haven't been running for a while. You want to do probably a minute of cool down walking. That's going to minimize any injury, take the strain off, maybe do some stretching afterwards, but I prefer just doing a cool down like walking. Just finished. Couple notes. Make sure that you have a water before doing this. You're going to sweat a ton. You need to be replenishing those fluids as you're losing them. And I'll just have you take a quick peek at the results. Yeah, so in 30 minutes, almost did about 2 miles. That's a pretty hard goal to achieve, but if after the first time you try it, you want to try it again, make your goal further than what you did before. You got to keep pushing yourself. Because when I was running, I wanted to slow down. I wanted to stop the treadmill, just stop running altogether. But that is not how you improve. You got to push yourself, even if your brain has to go completely blank in order for you to achieve that. Play some music in the background if you have it. That's what I did when I did my run. I would run to the beat of the music. I would pace myself at 4 for the majority of the time. If you pace yourself at only 3, and that's the max you can do, that's fine. You do 1.5 miles if you do that. If you pace yourself at 4 the whole time, you get exactly 2 miles. So push yourself. Make sure you stretch before you do any of these exercises. And tomorrow, for us anyway, is a rest day. So stay healthy. Bye-bye.